What's up, guys? It is Frankie here. It is week 15 of the 2021 NFL season. It is time to make some predictions. We're going to pick every game except for the Cardinals-Lions game and the Rams-Seahawks game because the Cardinals and Rams haven't played yet. Other than that, here are the games for week 15. The Kansas City Chiefs take on the Los Angeles Chargers on Thursday night. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. Kansas City's back, folks. We were worried what happened to them. Their offense was struggling for a lot of this year. And I know it's the Raiders who've had a very up and down year, but Kansas City looked awesome, scoring 48 points. Their defense made big plays. The offense was just looked fantastic for most of this game. They're looking like the old Kansas City offense here. And then you have the Chargers, who, despite not having Keenan Allen, they still dominated the Giants. I mean, I expected that they were going to do that, but big plays yesterday by Joshua Palmer and Justin Jackson. Good game by Mike Williams. Justin Herbert with a pretty great game. He's been unbelievable so far in his career. So, close game. One of the biggest Thursday night games we've seen in a while, because you're getting Chiefs-Chargers. You're getting two of the top 10 teams in the NFL here. Two great offenses, I feel like. And it's a tough one to think about here, and I know that I was not on the Chiefs bandwagon for a long time this year, but the Chiefs are really playing better. I'm trusting them more. Nothing against the Chargers, and I could totally see the Chargers winning this game. But I'm just looking at, I think Kansas City's offense is just a little bit better right now, a little bit more explosive. If Austin Eckler is not going to play on Thursday, then that's going to really hurt the Chargers, I feel like. So it's going to be a fun game, I feel like. Again, with these two teams, the talent they have, it's going to be a great division game. But in the end, I think Kansas City pulls it out. I think Kansas City's offense comes through, and I think the Chiefs win this one by maybe 5 or 6 points, maybe 7. But I think Kansas City gets the win. Give me the Chiefs -3.5. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are 9-point favorites. I mean, that's it for the Raiders, I feel like. And I give them credit. They fought like hell this year. They really did everything they could. Despite all the drama with John Gruden and Henry Ruggs, they did everything they could. They started off 5-2, and in the end, they're now 5. They've gone 1-5 in their last 6. They trailed 35-0 in the first half. They lost 4 fumbles in one game, one by Josh Jacobs. A nice game from Hunter Renfrow, I guess. But look, this looks like a team that, again, while they tried, it's just not enough to overcome all the other problems that the Raiders have had this year. And I also feel like we might be in for a cleaning house situation here. I mean, I guess they're going to have to. It looks like Mike Mayock may have to go, and they'll obviously have to get a new coach. We'll have to see what happens with Derek Carr. Are the Raiders going to move on from him? Very difficult time for the Raiders here in this game. But yeah, just brutal yesterday. Browns got the win, man. The Browns are back in this AFC North battle. A tough, hard win, but yeah, finally they scored 17 points. Or actually, they did, but that's because of the defense, because Myles Garrett had a defensive touchdown. It did benefit that they didn't have to deal with Lamar Jackson. Baker looked better than he has in most weeks. He still doesn't look like he's 100% there. But solid win there for the Browns against the Ravens. Again, despite, having the problems with Lamar. And even when they were against Lamar, they still looked good. I mean, they had like a 21-point lead at one point, and then they got the Ravens fight back in there. The defense did come alive late, so credit to them on that. In this game, though, I just think the Raiders are done. I just think the Raiders are just mentally, emotionally, I think they're done. And even though it's tough to trust the Browns right now, considering that, again, since October, they've only scored 17 points once. Now twice. I have to roll with the Browns here. I just think they're slightly better right now. They got more to play for. This is a Saturday game, Saturday at 4:30. I think the Browns will get the win here. They're at home. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be, crowds are going to be fired up. And I just think the Raiders are running on empty here. I think the Browns win this one. Give me the Browns -6. The New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are 2-point favorites. I mean, New England's back, folks. I know we've said that the last couple of weeks. Somehow New England won a game in which they only attempted 3 passes. They attempted 3 passes. Somehow they won that game. I feel like that's more on Belichick, just somehow finding a way to get the win. I mean, 222 rushing yards. They really showed what they could do here. And the New England just keeps on winning games. They keep finding ways to get wins. And that is what's been so impressing me. Obviously, last year was rough. They had a lot of guys come back. They added a lot of guys in free agency. Mac Jones has played really well. Maybe not against Buffalo, but he's played really well. And New England got that huge win against Buffalo to remind them they're still here. And then you have Indianapolis, who just dominated Houston, which they need to do. Wasn't it all the time pretty? There were a couple of struggles in this game, but they're back to 500. They're back to above 500. That was last week against the Houston. Now they're coming off a bye. Both of these teams coming off a bye, New England and Indianapolis. So pivotal stretch for both of them. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor has been unbelievable for Indianapolis here this year. But I know the Colts are favored, but I got to roll with New England. I just love the way New England is playing right now. I love their running game. I think Mac Jones can make big plays when he can. I like the defense here, despite some of the injuries here, like with Adrian Phillips. So I think Patriots win. Again, I know the Colts are favored, but I think the Patriots are gonna win this game. Just think they're better right now. They got more momentum, and Indianapolis is showing a hard time beating good teams. So I'm taking the Patriots here. 2 points. We'll see if by the end of the week if the line moves in New England's favor. But for now, I'm gonna go with New England. Give me the Patriots +2. The Carolina Panthers and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 10.5-point favorites. The Cam Newton experiment is not going to work, it looks like. And I'm sad because I wanted Cam to do well. I'm a Cam fan, and it's just sad. It's not all his fault. Carolina is a bad team, but Matt Rule is very possibly on his way out, even though I don't really understand that. But Bills are 10.5-point favorite. They're 10.5-point underdogs here against Buffalo. They don't look good. Cam is just at 32. He can make a couple big plays, but he can't lead a team anymore, I feel like. He's lost 11 straight with Carolina. It was a feel-good story, but now it looks like it's just not going to work out, which is sad. And yeah, Carolina's just a bad team overall. Buffalo, they're free-falling a little bit. They were down 24 points in this game. They looked really bad for the first half of it. A great game from Josh Allen, especially in the second half. He threw for 250 passing yards. He ran for 100 rushing yards. First player in Bills history to do that. I mean, obviously he's unbelievable. Unfortunately, though, the defense struggled a lot in this game. They struggled mainly early on. That last throw that Brady had in overtime was wide open. There was nobody in front. The defensive line struggled. They've now lost 2 straight for the first time this year. The good news for Buffalo is they have an easy schedule. The only tough matchup they really have is the Patriots. The rest of their schedule is the Panthers, Falcons, and the Jets all at home. So, the Bills should be fine here. This shouldn't be a major concern for Buffalo going forward. Again, they fought back in the second half, which I was impressed with, but that early part of that game was rough. But it is a Carolina team that is looking close to dead here at this point, and Buffalo is they're just too talented on offense. I don't want to see Cam get blown out, but I think it will happen here. I just think Buffalo, again, Carolina's a bad team. Buffalo is still a good team that just is going through the motions right now. I think they're going to, in this game at home, they're going to fight. They're going to figure it out. They're going to win this one pretty easily, and I think officially put an end to Carolina's playoff hopes. Give me the Bills, -10.5. The New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins the Dolphins are playing well. The Dolphins are coming off a bye. The Dolphins still have a chance. They beat the Giants, but I don't feel like there's a playoff chance. I just don't think the team is good enough here. Even though their defense is really good, I just feel like they're a little too far back to make a run for the playoffs. And then the Jets just don't even get me started. 11 years in a row. This should be a Dolphins win. The Dolphins, I think, should win this one easily. Their defense is good. The Jets' defense is not. And even the offense, which has been better as of late, they should really take control of the Jets' defense here. So this should be an easy win for Miami. I think it will be. Give me the Dolphins -8.5. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. The Cowboys are 10.5-point favorites. Cowboys did win against Washington, which, by the way, that felt like a home game for Dallas. There were so many fans there in Dallas in Washington there for that game. They started off dominating Washington. They had the great plays on defense. Again, the defense made so many big plays in this game. You had the strip sack, you had the Randy Gregory sack and forced fumble of Kyle Allen that led to that was a touchdown. Durant Armstrong's 37-yard return for a touchdown of Micah Parsons' sack. What was that? 4 takeaways for Dallas here. They've had 27 on the year. The defense is really great. The offense struggles here. Dak looked bad, Dak looks fine. He had 2 picks. There were a lot of other bad throws that he made, including the one at the end of the game where that almost got Washington back in it. The running game is really a problem right now without Tony Pollard. It's just not looking like the Dallas offense that we saw earlier in the year. The defense is carrying this team right now, while the offense needs to get better. I expect that they'll get better here because we've seen greatness out of Dallas' offense before, so I expect that Dallas is going to be able to figure it out here. And then you're looking at the Giants, who just stink. The Chargers had 18 first downs in the first half. It is so awful watching this Giants team. what is this going to be, 5 straight years probably where they don't win more than 6 games? It is. I don't know. I mean, the Jets and Giants, they're contending for the worst team in the league. It's just, or the worst team in New York. It's just so bad right now watching these teams. And I mean, it looks like Dave Gettleman's going to be gone. Joe Judge, I think, probably should be gone. Not that it's all his fault, but you can't keep the general manager. I feel like you can't let go of the general manager and keep the coach. I feel like they have to move on from Judge, it's just sad what has happened to this Giants team. It is unbelievable how bad they've been as of late. And I mean, they were bad. ESPN put it perfectly. They were bad with Daniel Jones, and they're even worse without him. And Mike Glennon is not the answer here. If there's any team that can get Dallas's offense back to where they want to be, this is the game to do it. Against a terrible Giants team, a Giants team that is just, I mean, there's probably going to be no energy in that stadium. This is the time. Even though the Giants defense has shown moments, they don't have a pass rush, so they don't have an edge rusher. They have no pass rushing in general. This should be a perfect opportunity for Dak to really light it up against the Giants here, and I hope he does, just so the Giants can make it clear that it's time to move on and make changes. Give me the Cowboys minus 10.5. The Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 4-point favorites. Washington somehow has the 7th spot right now, which I don't. That just shows how bad the NFC is, at least down the line. The wild card teams especially. Losing to Washington, they fought back late, but they keep losing a lot of players. They have so many injuries right now. It's just ridiculous. And the Eagles, they did beat the Jets, which credit to them, but they have all these problems with quarterback and all that. I'm gonna go with Washington. I mean, yeah, the Eagles coming off a bye where they beat the Jets with Gardner Mania. So a part of me sitting there going, should I pick the Eagles because of Gardner and everything? And I don't know I don't know who's going to be healthy. I don't know who's the starting quarterback going to be next week. And that's probably why I'm taking Washington, because I'm not sure the starting quarterback is going to be. And I know what I'm getting from Taylor. Or actually, isn't Heineke hurt? Who knows? I'm taking Washington. Why not? I just think the defense is going to come on here. And it's 4 points. I can see this being a 2-point game. It's a division game. I can see them being close. Give me Washington here, +4, but this is really not really an exciting game. I know Washington's a playoff contender, but I really don't care about this game. Give me Washington +4. The Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Titans are 2-point favorites. Tennessee did what they need to do against Jacksonville. I mean, they should. When you're going up against a horrible Jacksonville team that is just crumbling, you need to deliver like that, and they did. They did a great job in the turnover department. They intercepted Trevor Lawrence 4 times, which just goes to show. Although they only had 3 points off the takeaways, which is a problem. But I mean, the Trevor Lawrence Jacksonville disaster, which we'll talk about later, is just a nightmare. Especially with Urban Meyer. You hope that Julio Jones can be a good threat for this team right now. He played half the snaps. He was found on 6 targets for 33 yards. So you hope that he can, because when he gets healthy, he can be one of the best in the league. And the Tennessee did what they needed to do in that game, so that was good there. Nice job by the pass rush and everything. Pittsburgh coming off a tough loss on Thursday to Minnesota. I mean, they fought back late in this game, which I'll give them credit for, but they let Darvin Cook run all over them. 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Vikings finished with 5 yards per rush before contact. The Steelers have one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. If Derrick Henry was playing in this game, Tennessee would just run all over them. I feel like it would be more than 2 points if that was it. And not looking good for the Steelers' playoff chances here. And they had that nice win against Baltimore on a couple weeks ago. Or last week, and it's really looked bad here. I don't see Pittsburgh making it. I just think there's offensively, defensively right now, there's just something missing with this team. And again, they got the win over the Ravens, but the loss against Minnesota really hurt their chances there. I'm taking Tennessee in this game. Tennessee's looking a lot better right now. Again, I think the pass rush gets to Big Ben, and I just think the offense moves well. And you hope that when A.J. Brown comes back, and if Julio Jones comes back, that Tannehill's going to have 2 great weapons to throw to here. I think this is a Tennessee win, and I think Pittsburgh sinks further and further down the standings. Give me the Titans -2. Texans, Jaguars. No one cares. Jaguars -3. Give me the Jaguars, whatever. Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are 1.5 favorites. Tough loss for Cincinnati yesterday. Tough loss. Back-to-back losses. Cincinnati on the verge of the playoffs here. They come back against San Francisco. They get the field goal, and then San Francisco finds a way to run down the field. I mean, too many turnovers, bad plays on both offense and defense, and now they're falling out. They're falling back a little bit. It's the offense is so inconsistent for this team. That is, I feel like, the biggest problem. Even though, like what we see from Burrow and Chase, it's just the offense just itself cannot get it going consistently for 60 minutes or back-to-back games. And it looks like Cincinnati's not going to make the playoffs here. Then you have Denver, and what a win that was for Denver. Paying tribute to Demaryius Thomas. It's Detroit, so it shouldn't be that much of a big. But there were people that thought this could be a win for Detroit here. That Detroit could definitely cover the spread because it was a huge spread. But Denver really did what they needed to do in this game. They paid tribute to Demaryius Thomas in the best way they could, dominating on offense, dominating on defense. They're 7-6. Huge game against the Bengals here. We'll see if they can sustain that momentum. I think both these teams have concerns and problems. I'm liking Denver here in this game. I think Denver's just a little bit better on the offensive side, on the defense. I think especially on the defensive side. And Cincinnati just cannot put it together consistently on offense. So I think all of that is going to lead to a Denver win here. -1.5. It's going to be an interesting game here between two teams that are battling for a playoff spot. But in the end, I think Denver has got the offense that they're going to need to win this game. I think Cincinnati's offense struggles, and I think the defense for Denver carries them here in this game. Give me the Broncos -1.5. The Atlanta Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are 8-point favorites at home. The Falcons, they want to play meaningful football in December. They're doing that, I guess. They somehow still have a chance to make the playoffs, which I don't understand how, but they're figuring it out. Again, that just shows how wide open the playoffs is here, wide open the NFC is here. The Falcons have a good running game, though. I'll give them that. 3 straight games where they have 100 rushing yards. Cordell Patterson, what a breakout season he's had. Just a solid one from Atlanta here in this game against Carolina, and really put Carolina on the back burner here this season. The Niners, excellent win against Cincinnati. Even though it was a struggle in the fourth quarter, they got the huge touchdown late, got the win, just barely. I don't know how that guy stayed in bounds to win the game, but the Niners pulled it off, and now they got a tough game here against Atlanta. Right now, they are the 6th spot in the NFC playoffs. Very winnable game here against Atlanta. A lot of tie-breaking scenarios here. They're going to be fun. They're going to be interesting to watch. But I think in this game, San Francisco is an 8-point favorite. They're looking really good right now, looking really solid. And I think, again, they won ugly against the Bengals. They can find a way to get wins here, I think. And I just think right now the team is just a little bit better. Team overall, just a little bit more talented. They did lose Alshire for I don't know how long. Hopefully he's able to hang in there. Hopefully he's able to come back. But I can see that. I just think I don't really have a grasp on this game, but I do think the Niners are going to win. I think the Niners are overall better. I think Atlanta just, even though they have a good running game, don't think they have the consistency. And I think San Francisco pulls it off. Give me the Niners -8. The Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. The Packers are 6.5-point favorites. Nice win last night for Green Bay, and their special teams is a joke. Their special teams is an absolute joke. I mean, you had the 97-yard punt return touchdown, then you had the punt return, the kickoff return. You also had the not recovering the onside kick. Green Bay's special teams is so awful. I know it's a weird place to put it on, but it's so dreadful just how they continue to do stupid things. The muff punt return, that's what kept them out of this game here. And a lot of offensive line injuries here for Green Bay. But I feel like that's being too negative here. Green Bay did find a way to win this game. They got the offense going after being down 10 when I thought, all right, amazingly, the Packers were 12, 13-point favorites, and I thought for sure they were not going to cover the spread after they were down 10, but Rodgers found a way. Rodgers owns Chicago, and he really dominated in that game late to be able to give Green Bay the win. Again, despite all the offensive line problems with Green Bay here in this game. Then you have the Ravens. I really have no idea what the status of Lamar Jackson is, and that was tough. I felt bad for Tyler Huntley because Lamar comes in, and Lamar gets hurt in the second quarter, and that's it. Huntley hung in there, though, 270 yards. This was the first time since in a month that Baltimore scored over 20 points. We don't know how hurt Lamar is. It looks like it's an ankle injury. We're not entirely sure if he's going to miss this game. It looks like it's not going to be season ending. But we don't know if he's going to miss out on this game. So for that reason, for the reasons that we don't know about Lamar's health, and just the fact of how well Green Bay is playing, especially how well Rodgers is playing. Rodgers right now is probably the second MVP candidate behind Brady. I think Rodgers is going to win this game. I think Green Bay is going to win this game here. If I look at this line and Lamar was playing, if I knew Lamar was playing, I'd probably take Baltimore to cover the spread. But because I don't know, because of the uncertainty with that, I'm going to take Green Bay here. It's a 6.5-point spread, and I think Green Bay pulls it off. Green Bay gets the win. Give me the Packers -6.5. The New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 11-point favorites. Saints did what they needed to do yesterday. They beat the woeful Jets. Alvin Kamara came back after missing 4 games and gave a spark to that team. He ran for 145 yards, a touchdown. Taysom Hill had a nice performance he throws, he runs, he's fun. I mean, I don't think he's a great quarterback, but he's able to, he makes some nice plays. 15 for 21, 175 yards, no turnovers. He gets and he has some nice rushing plays here in this game, including the nice 44-yard touchdown run at the end of the game when the Jets are just winding out the clock at that point. Still have concerns about New Orleans' offense because I just don't think Taysom Hill is the guy that's gonna is he the guy that's gonna throw for 300 yards in a game? I just don't see it with him. And maybe he has thrown 300 yards in the game, and someone will point that out in the comments below. But I just don't feel like he's the kind of guy that can take over a game as a quarterback. But it's just been a rough year for New Orleans with all their injuries and everything with Jameis. So it was a nice win against the Jets, but whatever. And then you have Tampa. We've been asking ourselves, who's the best team in the NFL right now? We've had that concern. I think right now we can fairly say it's Tampa Bay. Right now, Tampa Bay looks like they're the best team. They have. We talked about last year how they came along at the right time. They got hot at the right time, and they're doing that right now. Another big win. Even though the second half they really struggled, they let Buffalo come back from 21 down. They held on in overtime. Brashad Perriman, the 58-yard touchdown, that was huge. Again, Brady threw it to a wide open guy there. Brady has been unbelievable this year. He's favored right now to win his 4th MVP. He'd be the oldest MVP of all time. This is the kind of game that just makes you sit there and go, how is Tom Brady still doing this? He's not the most. I was thinking about this week. He's not the most talented quarterback. I feel like he's talented, but he's not the most talented. He's not in terms of skill. I don't think I'd put him on there with Rodgers or somebody like that, or Mahomes at his peak. But he might be the smartest quarterback. He's just always able to make the big throws. He knows where these guys are. He's able to read defenses perfectly. He might be the smartest quarterback I've ever seen, and I think that combined with his talents makes him the GOAT. And just an unbelievable performance there from Tampa Bay. Even though the defense, they let the Bills. Tampa Bay's defense 2 for 13 on third down yesterday against the Bills, so that was solid. And they did surrender 100 yards to Allen on the ground. They gave up 3 touchdowns in the second half, but they were able to figure it out. They did enough because Tampa's offense came through. Tampa trying to get the number 1 seed. It's wide open there. Right now, it's Arizona's the number 1 seed, but maybe if it would have lost tonight, the tiebreakers might give the edge to Tampa here. I just think in this game, Tampa's so much better than New Orleans. It's 11 points. I love the way Tampa's playing right now. Again, I just think they're far and away the best team. I think Brady right now is far and away the MVP. He could lose it. There's 4 weeks to go, but it's looking very good for Brady here. He's just having an unbelievable year. It's 11 points. It's a big number, but I'm liking Tampa Bay in this game because I really don't know if New Orleans can pull it out here. Give me the Buccaneers. Give me what I think is the best team in the NFL. And even though they struggle against New Orleans a lot, they've only beaten, in the 4 times that Brady has played against New Orleans, 4, he's won once. And 2 of them were blowouts, and then the last one he looked bad. But you should win this time. New Orleans is really bad. New Orleans doesn't have their starting quarterback. You should win this game. But again, it's the Saints against Tom Brady, so who knows where that is right now. But I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I think they have to win this game. I just think they're rolling right now. And if they lose, that just makes this playoff race even more wide open. This race for the Super Bowl even more wide open. Give me the Buccaneers, -11. The Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. The Vikings are 4-point favorites. Minnesota got the win against Pittsburgh. That was solid, but still don't look at this team right now as a playoff team, even though it was a solid win. And then Chicago, they hung in there. They started off well, and then they let Green Bay just run right back in there. They hung tough with Green Bay, which was impressive to see there. Got to roll with the Vikings. 4 points. Again, I hate to trust Kirk Cousins, but I'm going to go with the Bears. I know the Bears are at home. The Bears aren't that good. This is just a game I would not pick. This is my not pick game of the week, along with Texans, Jaguars. But I'm going to take the Vikings here. Give me Minnesota, -4. That's it for now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel and you'd like to see, make sure you subscribe down below for more content just like this every single day. I'll be back later this week with predictions to the Cardinals game, predictions for the Rams game, an NBA video tomorrow. A lot of stuff coming out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care and God bless.